Guys, I'm missing your faces. Um, I wish we could go over course requests together in person with Chromebooks for all of you and me on a projector or one of the Promethean boards, but that's just not possible. So, this is going to have to do. We are going to take just a couple minutes and go over this whole process. We are going to start at winchesterschools.net because everything you need to get to, you can get to from there. When you get to our school website, you're going to go to high school and then over to counselor. That's me. You've got to click that extra link to get to my page. And you're going to see right there on the beginning of the page 2020 2021 online course requests open now. You can click there or you can click scheduling up at the top. Those both take you to the same page, and that will get you to everything you need. So as you can see right here, it says I'm going to be available every Monday through Friday from 2:30 to 3 on Google Meets for questions. I'll make sure to send out an email reminder every day right before that happens, so you can just click on the link in the email to join up. There's also going to be a discussion thread on each Google Classroom for scheduling questions once we get to that point. Over here on the left side, you're going to see kind of written directions for how to do what we're going to do. And then on the right side, well, soon the right side will have this video posted right here. But there's also some links for what you need. We're going to go ahead and open all of those links. Because really, the first thing I want you to be doing is watch this video. And then the second thing I want you to do, which says right here, is review the course description book, paying special attention to the graduation requirements and 4-year plan. And then also any course descriptions that you're interested in. I will obviously make sure you are meeting all your graduation requirements, but that is going to be on you guys too as far as signing up for classes. So if you're a senior, you need to think, have I taken civics yet? Have I taken consumer ed yet? Those sorts of questions. So we're going to quick go through the course description book. This is what it looks like. Beautiful picture of our school on the front, table of contents, some quick reminders. And if you are an 8th grader coming up to be a freshman, this is not so much reminders, but new information. We will go over this more when we come back in the fall at freshman registration. And I'll also come to some of your classes probably and talk about this. So every year you have to register for 7 classes plus PE, unless there's some sort of extra circumstance. Let's see. Any semester class that you fail, you have to repeat that class to earn credit. So that goes for you sophomores, juniors, and seniors. If you failed a class first semester or last year or anything that you need to make up, you'll need to request to take that class again. I will also try to catch those and get you put in that class. Let's see, adding or dropping classes, you still have the first 2 days of the semester. So what you're doing right now is you're putting in your requests of these are the classes that I want to take, and I will try to get you scheduled into those classes. It might not work out. We might need to do some playing. You have the first 2 days to easily make changes to your class schedule. Early graduation, seniors, we'll talk about that. Well, juniors to be seniors, we'll talk about that early on next year. You can read more about it. Grading scale, none of this has really changed. GPA, freshmen, we'll talk about this more. Freshman orientation, same with class rank. Graduation requirements, pay special attention to this. You need 26 total credits to graduate, 4 English credits, which includes English 1, 2, 3, and speech. Seniors, if you have an IEP, you probably took writing. English 1, 2, 3, writing and speech. So you're done with your English credits, assuming you passed everything. If you don't have an IEP, you've probably taken English 1, 2, 3, and speech. You might be able to get that other English credit from newspaper yearbook, from film lit with Mrs. Brennicky. You can get it from English 4 or Honors English 4. There's several different ways you can get that credit. You need 3 math credits, including algebra and geometry. Remember, if you're an Algebra 1A student, you have to take Algebra 1A and Algebra 1B to count the full year of algebra. You need 3 credits of social studies, geography, US history, and civics. It's just a semester, so you also need another half of credit, another semester history class somewhere. We've got some new ones we're adding this coming year that I'll tell you about soon. You need 2 science credits. We have some science changes too, we'll talk about in a little bit. 2 elective credits. PE, you need 3 PE credits for our graduation requirements. However, according to the state of Illinois, you're required to take PE every year unless it gets in the way of a graduation requirement or a college entrance requirement. Now, as a freshman, we technically count your health and driver's ed classes as PE credit, so you don't have to necessarily take the PE class if you're taking health and driver's ed, which are our next 2 graduation requirements. And then consumer ed, it depends on what you're taking, but you need at least a half a credit in consumer ed to graduate. And then the tests. This actually is going to be a weird thing because of this year. We're supposed to be taking the SAT juniors to be seniors on Tuesday, but that's not going to happen this year. So don't pay too close attention to this, and we'll figure that out as we go. So this next page talks a little bit about college admission stuff. Freshmen, we will talk about this. Freshman orientation night. Everyone else should have already heard a lot of this from me, but you can read through that. This 4-year plan worksheet, I recommend you print it out, fill it out. These are the bare minimums of what you would need each year that I can fill in. Everything else, you kind of decide when you're going to take it. All right, so the rest of this book is just our course descriptions. At the beginning of each section, it gives like a recommended pathway. So like English 1, then you'd move to English 2 and speech, then either English 3 or honors English 3, so on and so forth. So that's kind of how that works. First, we have our academic classes. Oh, math didn't load. Math, I want to tell you guys the stars here. Those are the places that you might start. So you might start at Algebra 1, you might start at Algebra 1A, or if you're one of the handful of 8th graders who took algebra as an 8th grader, then you might start as a freshman in geometry. Science, we'll talk about those. Well, we'll talk about the one main change right now. One main change we made with science is we separated earth and environmental science out into 2 full year-long courses. We were cramming those both into 1 year, but we spread them out now to be 2 year-long courses. So there are more electives in here than we'll offer, but the ones that are the most popular will be the ones that we do offer. So I want you guys to make sure to sign up for what you really want to sign up for. I'm not going to go through the rest of those descriptions. I highly recommend you read the descriptions of the classes you're interested in taking, or if you're new, read through them all, or just go to the new classes and check those out. So these are the new classes for next school year. Starting with science, we're going to add zoology. It will be a sophomore and above level course. We are taking human biology out because that's kind of repetitive with anatomy and physiology. So zoology is a new science elective. It's going to be a lot of dissections, and you'll need to have taken biology or get approval before you can take the class. And then, like I said, we're separating out this one science class to be 2 full year-long science classes. Social studies, we are adding a world history and film if there's enough interest. You'll have to have taken world history, or you can take it at the same time. And then Mrs. Barnett is also offering a really cool hands-on history class this year, which is going to be a semester class for juniors and seniors. It's going to be project-based. You should definitely go read the description. It explains it better than I do. It's going to be a lot about local history and working with the Winchester Historical Society. It sounds really fun. I would want to take it if I was in high school. And then sociology, we are trying to bring back. We've had that as an elective before, and we want to try to get it back. Mrs. Coon's business classes, we are adding an advanced accounting class. I think there's very few people that have taken accounting as a prerequisite that would be able to be in that class, but I would highly recommend signing up for it. It will be an honors course. So if you have taken accounting already, that's an option for you. And then this other super fun class, it's a semester elective, sports marketing and media. You have to have intro to business or take intro to business at the same time, or get special approval. But that is going to be a fun one, I think. Family Consumer Science, we cut down Consumer Ed. Instead of it being a full year class, it's only a semester. That was related to some early graduation stuff. And Miss McLaughlin and I just decided we could make it a semester long class. We had ASL 1 for the first time this year. We're adding ASL 2 as an elective now. So if you've taken ASL 1, you can take ASL 2 next year. And then we're also adding a Woods 2 with a lab, kind of like the Auto 2 with lab class, but for Woods. So it'll be a double period. It'll be 2 periods. I'm not sure when in the day it's going to be yet. But you have to have taken Woods 1 or Industrial Arts and my and Mr. Smith's approval to be in that class. So that's just a quick overview of all the new classes, and that is referenced there for you guys. And then my kids with IEPs, this is a little cheat sheet for you guys, because you'll see when we go into request classes, you're not going to see a teacher's name. You're going to see a course code. So if you are supposed to be in Miss Surrey's English 2 class, if you were in Miss Surrey's English 1 class and you need to sign up for her English 2 class, you're going to need to look for this code right here. It's going to have an F in it. And same sort of thing with Miss Heberling's classes. This is the code you're going to look for. So this is a little cheat sheet for you guys. It kind of explains here at the top. These are the course codes that you'll need to sign up for if you're in those classes. Same with math codes. Miss Thomas's codes have an R in them. It's based on their first names if you haven't figured that out yet. And then Miss Heberling's codes all have a V in them. So Miss Heberling's students, if you sign up for her classes, those will have a V in them. And then same down here, Miss Heberling is the only special education teacher that has science classes. So those science classes will have a V in the code. Okay, so now to the fun part. We've done this, we've reviewed this. Now we're actually going to get into the program. Next year we're going to switch. We're going away from iNow and we're going to switch to TeacherEase. So you click here and go to TeacherEase. You can also just type in teacherease.com. You are going to log in, and you're going to log in with Google. You're going to use your school Google account. Now, I'm not a student, obviously, so when I log in, it's going to look very different from what you see when you log in. So, with permission, sorry, Tyson, I got permission from Tyson's mom to use his account as an example. So I am going to go to Tyson and pretend like I'm Tyson. Thanks, by the way. So this is what you guys will see when you log in. You're going to go hover over this top tab, which says Academics, and you're going to go to Course Registration. See, I've already started on Tyson. I've already started playing around with him. So normally it'll say that you haven't requested any courses yet. Click here, and you'll click the word here to start requesting your courses. If you've already requested courses, you can go back in and edit it. You guys are going to have about 2 weeks to go in and edit your course requests. So I'm going to edit Tyson's right now. I'm going to hit Edit Course Registration. Okay, so it's kind of by grade level. It's going to look a little bit different for every grade level. Tyson's a sophomore, so it's for, well, he will be a sophomore, so it's for grade 10. Required classes, they're already plugged in. English, speech, lunch automatically goes for everybody. So now Tyson would have to choose 1 credit from the following courses. If you didn't take driver's ed health as a freshman, you should take those now. Again, this is going to look different for every grade level. So he would just go in here and select the classes that he wants to take. Maybe Tyson's taking Early Bird. Let's see, Tyson maybe is taking Honors Algebra 2. I really don't know what Tyson's wanting to take, so he's going to have to edit this. Tyson, I think you took Biology. So maybe he's going to want to take chemistry. And let's see. So now we're going to select electives. Now, maybe you're thinking, there's other academic classes that I wanted to take, but I don't have a place to take them. Yes, you do. So those academic classes are all going to be under your electives too. So say you're going to take Spanish 2, Tyson. Uh, you can put that there. Tyson, I signed him up for early bird. Since I signed him up for early bird, I need to, assuming he wants a release period, sign him up for an early bird release period. All right, so let's look at our total credits too. Right now, we signed up, we've got 1.5 with English 2 and speech, another one from early bird, that's 2.5, another math 3.5, science 4.5, now 5.5. The release doesn't count as a credit. And we need a total of 8 credits. So we will sign Tyson up for whatever additional classes he might want to take. Let's see. Maybe Tyson wants to take an auto class and an ag class, and I don't know what you might want to take, an art class. I'm just making stuff up here for you, Tyson. I'll make sure I go in and delete it all out of here. All right, so I've got all those for him. I don't think there's anything else special I want to call your attention to in here. Okay, so the other special thing is a priority too. So of these classes here, what is the number one priority for Tyson? For you. So you don't have to put your release period if you're signing up for early bird, as you can put that as last priority. You're going to get one because that can go anywhere. So let's say auto mechanics was his top priority. He's going to put that at number 1, and maybe Spanish is second priority. We'll put that down there. So change that. What's the most important elective class that you want to take? Maybe you wanted to take a second science class. You can add a second science class. Just go under that subject and say you want to take archaeology too, add archaeology. And then also put alternate classes here. So if you can't get into these priority classes, list a couple alternate classes that you would be okay with taking, because that's going to help me tremendously when I try to make your schedule. I will try to get you in your chosen classes by priority, obviously giving priority to your top class first. But if I can't figure that out, then I'll go to the alternates. If there's nothing in your alternates, then I will just have to guess and put you in something, and you might not like it. And we're going to have to go from there. So hit save when you're done. And you'll see that these are all his classes that he's requested. It'll tell you which ones are required, which ones are not. And right here it says we registered for 8.5 credits. Well, we don't have 8.5 periods in the day, so we need to edit his registration and go back and get rid of one of these semester-long classes. Just hit clear, and we'll save it again. And now we've got 8 credits and at least one alternate, so we're good. That's all you need to do. Go back, and you're back to your home screen. You can sign out, and you are done. If you want to go back and edit it, just like we did, academics, course registration, go back and edit that. I believe I told you guys, you can look over here. You can go in and review and change your course requests until April 24th. I will shut it off after April 24th. That way I can start building the schedule and trying to get you scheduled into specific classes. If you have questions, email me. I'm going to put a discussion thread up on Google Classroom for each of the grade levels, and then I will also be on Google Meets from 2:30 to 3 every day. I'll try my best to make it consistently at that time, because that's nap time for my little one. So, assuming she's agreeable at nap time, we will meet. I'll be available for questions every day from 2:30 to 3. And those would be questions that maybe you would rather ask in person or that might benefit a lot of people. But if there's something more private, you can always just shoot me an email directly. And that is how you're going to sign up for classes. I hope it goes smoothly for you. And I hope I get to see all of you guys again soon.